If I could have your attention here in the Media Center, we will go ahead and start pre-race media availability here at Darlington Raceway for tomorrow's Sports Clip Haircuts Help a Hero 200 at Darlington and the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And we're joined by the winner at Road America in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Jeremy Clements, driver of the number 51 RepairableVehicles.com Chevrolet. And Jeremy, big win at Road America. You're back home here in South Carolina. How has this week been for you? It's had to have been special.
Incredible. It's flew by. First of all, can't believe we're already at Darlington, but it's just been something I'll never forget. So it was the best day of my life, and then the week, like I said, flew by. So many people have came up and congratulated me, and still in shock, kind of. So it must be real.
It is real. I can confirm that. We'll go ahead and open the floor for questions. If you have questions, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. We'll start here with Kenny and then go to Bob.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Jeremy, what do you make of everything that's been said about it this week? I mean, you've had people that have been like ecstatic that a team like yours could win, and others obviously are like, well, where did these guys come from? Did they deserve to win? All that. What's been your take on everything that's happened since then?
Well, I appreciate everybody that's come up and tweeted me and Facebooked and Instagrammed, everything, messaged me. I've been trying to get back to everybody, but I don't know, if you look at the past Road America results, you know, we've always kind of had some speed there. We finished 6th in 2014 and was really faster last year, and I don't know. It's just there in Mid-Ohio, I look at like the tracks that we can run really good or possibly have a win. The road courses kind of are a little bit better for a driver and team like me with, you know, low budget, but we still are able to put good brakes and good transmission on the car and try to run up front. So it'll be a lot harder this weekend to get that. You know, everybody's like, you going to go to Darlington and win? I'm like, ooh, that's a different ball game, boys, right there. So top 10 would be a victory for us. Last year we finished 8th here, and I was ecstatic with that. So if we can do that again, that would be amazing.
We'll go next to Bob, and then we'll go to the young lady in the back there.
Bob Parker, ESPN. A little extra money when you win, and being in the top 12 in the final points, I assume will be a little extra money too. What will you guys buy a new car? Like, have you already figured out how you're going to spend it?
Yeah, I mean, we're always honestly putting the money we get towards the cars every year, and every year I feel like we kind of step up our game a little bit, but the money, I have no idea what we even got. I think it comes in today, actually. So, to be honest, I don't know the exact figure. You know, it's kind of hard to find it. But I figured out what we would kind of get. But we got a bonus check from RepairableVehicles.com, and we gave all the guys a bonus, a pit crew bonus, and honestly, just putting it towards getting ready for these flange fit cars, the composite body, because it costs a lot of money to change all that over. So we did get 2 new cars from RCR, you know, that are new to us. So running one next week, and yeah, just trying to improve our equipment, honestly. That's what we're always trying to do, really.
Amy Henderson, frontstretch.com. First of all, congratulations on the big win for you and your team last week. How important is it to the sport as a whole for small teams to succeed in the national divisions?
I couldn't see it. There you are. I was like, where's she at in the box up there? But can you repeat your question one more time? Because I was like, where are you? And I couldn't focus.
Sure. How important do you feel it is to the sport as a whole for the small teams to succeed in the national divisions?
I think it's really important. I feel like, you know, it's good for NASCAR. It's good for small teams to look and be like, wow, if they can do it, maybe we can. So I think it's great. You know, we're a family team. I know everybody knows that, blah, blah, blah. But my dad's the owner, and I'm the driver. And, you know, it's just very small. And I think people and teams are looking at that thinking, well, if they can do it, maybe we can. And I think it's got to be good. And I think people that watched the race enjoyed it and thought a small dog won a big race. So I think it's awesome.
Caleb?
Caleb Whistler, KickingTheTires.net. How do you approach the playoffs now? Because after your win at Road America, you had no chance to get in, but now you do. How are you going to approach these next couple races and the playoffs?
Yeah, we're trying to beef it up for sure. We're looking at those first three, especially, obviously, because those are the ones we got to try to advance the next round. I remember watching last year, Eric Jones had some difficulty and, wrecked at Kentucky first race and about missed the next round, but he got in. And all I know is we're going to try to bring the best possible equipment we can and run the best we can and try to have no trouble, because that's going to be our key to success. And just kind of hope that some of those other guys have trouble, honestly, because some of those races would be hard to outrun, Elliott Sadler and guys like that are in top-notch equipment. So we're going to try not to have trouble, and that's going to be our key.
Go to Mark, then to Mike.
Hey, it's Mark Hazelton with the Morning News over in Florence. Jeremy, there's a school of thought out there that, with the rules that are going to further limit the Cup guys next year from running in these Xfinity and truck races, that without as much star power, that's somehow going to hurt the series in one way or another. I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that.
I don't know. I don't see how. I mean, I'm not being biased here, but if I'm a fan watching the Xfinity series or the truck series, I'm not really wanting to watch Cup guy dominate. That's just my opinion, though. But I think watching the races, Road America was a spectacular race, even without me even winning and all that. I mean, I thought the race was good. And then, like Iowa, when Ryan Preece won, we need more stories like that. We need more opportunities for guys like myself instead of top-name drivers in Cup getting the big rides and winning every weekend. I don't know that's not that exciting to me. I don't blame the Cup guys. I would do it too, but I'm just saying, like, give us a chance. I mean, who wants to watch that, honestly? So I say, yeah, I'm glad they're limiting it. And I say if you're a Cup guy, the problem is they're in top dollar equipment. And it's like, well, it's good for you to race them. You see, it makes you better. I'm like, well, half the time they're so much faster. It doesn't make me better when they just fly by me. So I don't know what I'm learning from that. But I say if you're a Cup driver, you drive for a non-affiliated Cup team, and that would make it way more fair.
Mike?
Mike Neff from FrontStretch.com. Jeremy, you obviously gained some notoriety by winning one of these races, and that hopefully brings you some opportunities from the sponsorship side of things. Being a smaller family team, should you get an influx of income here, what do you feel would be your most studious use of that kind of money? Do you feel like you would be better off upgrading cars, upgrading engines? Where is it that you would most apply a boost of income?
All the above, everything. I mean, like this weekend, or from last weekend with the bonus check, we're going to use it to buy all the tires this weekend. So we got stickers, and that's a big thing. I mean, none of the big teams think about that, but we do. Even having stickers a lot of the times is a big deal for us. Like last week, we only practiced on one set of tires. We try to save what we could so we wouldn't have to, spend 15 grand on tires, because that eats up a lot of the purse, and the purse is what we race off of. But yeah, all the above. Like I said, more cars, newer cars, because the problem is we're racing cars that are really old. Like the newest car I have is the car we're racing this weekend, and it's from 2013. And then, like I said, the car we raced last week is from 08. So it's just a lot of old stuff, a lot of old chassis, and we need to upgrade it. Every time we had gotten a car before, it'd always step up our game. And just be able to buy, different springs, different shocks, different parts for the car that's what we got to do. And Clements Racing they're going to up our engine program with more money to, buy new parts. Like the engine we just ran had literally 3 races on it. And yeah, and then they're like, hey, how much damage did you do that engine on the burnout? And when I did the burnout and on the front stretch, I thought I need to be easy with this thing, because I'm probably going to have to race it like next week. And actually we are racing it next week at Richmond. So I hope it holds together, but we have to do this stuff to stretch our dollar. It's not something I want to do. It's not something what my team wants to do, but to be here and stay here, we have to.
We're going to come over here to your right to Carolyn.
Hey, Jeremy, Carolyn Mano, NBCSports.com. Congratulations on all your recent success.
Thank you.
You mentioned the expectations that have been placed on you, being from around the area, and of course your big win that people are saying, oh man, you should go out and win at Darlington, but this is a different animal. Can you explain what you mean by that? Is it an equipment issue? Is it a skill issue of tackling a track that's as difficult as this?
Well, come on, it's not a skill issue. I'm one of the best out here. I'm just kidding. No, I love Darlington first and foremost. It's one of my favorite tracks. It is a very difficult track, but no, what I mean by that is the equipment we have at these tracks that are bigger, like mile tracks, where the cars really got to have a lot of speed built into them. The driver's kind of handicapped by the speed of the car. So here, though, you can make up for it. You can conserve your tires and drive the track different. And here at Atlanta, places like that, you can really make up for it. But like, you know, just for instance, like a Charlotte or a Kentucky, the cars have just got to have that speed built into them. And you really can't do much to make up for that. So you got a 15th, 20th place car, you might get 13th out of it or 12th, but that's just where you're going to be. But no, with our equipment, unfortunately, winning this race is one of those deals where it might be a little impossible. I mean, to beat guys like Harvick, they'd have to have some trouble.
Do we have additional questions for Jeremy? Go back here to Kenny.
Yeah, Jeremy, you were talking about the age of your cars. Have you ever raced a new car? You ever had that opportunity?
No, definitely not. I mean, seriously, everything we buy is used. It's used parts, used cars. That's just how we can get by. I mean, it's just crazy. That's why it's unbelievable to me that when I came up on the pack of guys that I passed for the lead at first before I pitted, you know, the 22, the 42, the 62, really strong cars, I was like, how am I so much faster than these guys? I don't get it. And it was just unreal to me because it shouldn't be that way. But yeah, no new car for me ever.
So I'm guessing days like Sunday is why you continue to do this.
Heck yeah, man. And you know, people are like, why do you keep doing this over the years? And it's like, well, I mean, we're not terrible. I mean, we run respectable a lot of times. I mean, we're not a starting park team. We're not just here to be here. And you know, we've had a lot of good finishes here and there, and I always knew we could do it if given the right opportunity, the right day, everything works out. And when we were able to prove, you know, some of those critics wrong. So that's why we do it. Obviously, before I raced in Xfinity, I won a lot of dirt races, a lot of stuff leading up to this. But you guys got to remember, I drive for my family team, and I don't think it's the most fairest, but that's life. That doesn't matter. I'm just saying. It's not like I've been driving for Joe Gibbs Racing for 255 starts. So I'm blessed to be able to do this, and I want to keep it going as long as I can. Obviously, the driving for a big team has been my goal from day one, and I hope some of the guys maybe will take notice and try to give me a chance somehow if you could get the money lined up right.
We'll go here in the middle to Scott and then back over to Mike.
Yes, Jeremy. Scott Chansey with the Morning News in Florence. Stage racing in your series, do you like it?
I like it a lot. I feel like it gives us opportunities that we didn't have before, and some of these races just don't go green forever. So I think it creates excitement too. But honestly, coming from a small team standpoint, the big guys, it kind of separates us even more. Most weeks we're not in the top 10 in the stages, so those guys get way more points, and it makes it more difficult. But I do like the stages. I think NASCAR did a great job with that, and I remember hearing about it, and I was like, what does that even mean? So I applaud NASCAR for the idea of stage racing.
Mike Neff once again. Jeremy, this might be a bit of an odd question, but you may remember back to Carl Long getting declared with an illegal engine at Charlotte because it wasn't that they cheated it up, it was just old. You're talking about these older parts on your car. Was there a concern at Elkhart Lake, not that you had cheated something up, but maybe something was so worn out that it might have been out of spec?
No, not really. I didn't even have a chance to think about it. But no, my dad is scared to death of getting fined. I mean, even after the last pit stop every week. He's like, make sure the lug nuts are tight, you know, even if it's a slow stop. So they're scared to death of getting fined because we don't need to pay a fine. So no, they pay pretty close attention. And honestly, I complain a lot about other teams are bending the rules a lot, which that's what they do. They need to. And I feel like we give up a lot in that area because we do not, because we don't want the fine.
Hunter?
Hunter Thomas with thefourthturn.com. Obviously, you want to race for a bigger team, but how much fun is it racing with your family on this level? And then also, what is it about Darlington that really you love about the track?
Some weeks it's discouraging for sure. Nice hat, by the way. And then, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now, we wrecked at Mid-Ohio and killed the front of that car, and that's one of the weeks it's terrible because I'm like, I don't even know how we're going to get that car fixed, and the backup road course car it's an even bigger piece of junk, so I didn't want to have to run it, but those are the weeks it's frustrating, but it's been very satisfying this week, and I really appreciate the opportunity my dad and my Uncle Glenn gives me to keep doing this. The way they run it, we're able to come out ahead every year and, not go in the hole. That's why we're able to keep doing this. But what was your other question? I'm so sorry. I got on a tangent there.
Darlington. What is special about Darlington for you?
Oh, Darlington. Well, first of all, I live in Spartanburg, 2.5 hours away. I come here as a kid and would sit in the stands and watch the race. And just my first time I came here to race was so special. This place is unlike anything we raced at, first of all, and it's a tough track. It's a fun track, and I go through that during the race. One lap I'm like, I love this place, and the next lap I'm like, oh, I hate this place. But most of the time I love it. But it's just special to me because I live in this state, and I came here as a kid watching it, and this track has been here since the 50s or 60s? I think the 50s. So just so much history here.
Well, Jeremy, congratulations again on the win last week, and good luck this week.
Thank you guys so much. I'm glad I made it. I didn't even know where the media center was.
Well, you know now. Don't be a stranger.